Sorry for the sewage intro. That's a bit too sewage, isn't it? It's a bit too sewage. I say sewage like it's a bad thing because it is. It's New Year. Well, it's not New Year. It's Hogmanay. I've not removed all of the set dressings from tomorrow's video. That Santa hat shouldn't be there. It's Hogmanay, and yeah, tomorrow is a different year. Imagine that. It's no longer going to be 2017. In a few hours, we will be closer to 2030. No, is it closer to 2040 than we? I don't remember. I read this like it was closer to something that seems like the far future than we are to something that seems quite recently. Um, are we? No, 2040, 22 years. No, we're definitely not closer to 2040 than we are to. I don't know. We're closer to the future than we are to the past. Let's just stick with that. The picture quality on this isn't great, but I kind of like these color levels. It looks like an old um, telecined film print. So I don't know. I kind of like this. It's not great lighting, but at the same time, it kind of is. So anyway, enough of that. If you're wondering why Pooh is wearing a Santa hat when he wasn't all through Christmas week, the truth of the matter is, I've been filming these out of sequence. You might have noticed that because I have a sort of scruffy beard that comes and goes. You might not have noticed that though. I don't know. That's why I'm telling you. But anyway, regardless of whether you've noticed it or not noticed it, the main point is, tomorrow is another year older and nearer to death. Cheery. No, so yeah, 2017. What has 2017 been about? Let us wrap it up in as concise a manner as possible because I'm recording this at 8 o'clock on Hogmanay. Remember, I explained Hogmanay. I didn't explain it at all. That's what we call it up here in the far north of Scotland land. We call it Hogmanay. I don't know why. I don't care. This is New Year's Eve / Hogmanay / the last day of the year. Tomorrow is a different year. And it's 8 o'clock currently, so I need to get through this, edit it, and then I need to finish doing tomorrow's video, which is like a big job. I mean, I got Das Snowman done, so if I can do that, I can do this. So what has been going on this year? Well, I mean, there's been a lot of famous people have died again, but I suppose in the great scheme of things, on average, there's always going to be a lot of celebrity deaths every year. It's sad, but this is not an obituary video. I do list most of them in tomorrow's video, so you can come back for that tomorrow. In the world of cinema, it has been a year. It's been a year when some films have been made. We had Star Wars. I went to see that very recently. It was pretty good, I thought. One of the better ones, I'd say. I went to see the new Blade Runner. Very pleased with how that turned out. I was expecting, I don't know, I wasn't hopeful for it. I actually quite liked it. We had, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I don't usually go to see the Marvel things. I went to see that one. I liked it. It's good. I mean, I liked the first one. That's why I went to see it. I didn't see it. I wanted to. That's my one film that I wanted to see that I missed. That I regret not seeing. The Death of Stalin. Brilliant movie. That was an unexpected out of nowhere one because I wasn't even planning on going to see that one, and I did, and I loved it. That was one of the better films of the year. Murder on the Orient Express. If I can speak my words, loved it. Great film. I mean, it's not. I mean, I prefer the Suchet version. That's all I'm saying. I prefer the Suchet version, but I liked the Kenneth Branagh version of that more than I liked the Albert Finney version. So there you go. It was good. I liked it. It was I'd say it was on a par with the my brain's saying Bruno Tonioli. That's not at all what his name is. Peter Ustinov. It's about on a par with Peter Ustinov films. Disaster Artist I haven't seen. That's one I would like to see. Lego Batman. Brilliant movie. Loved it. Really good. Beauty and the Beast. Adequate. Emoji Movie I did not see. Nor do I plan on seeing it. I am cheating with this. I'm looking at a list of films, but they don't have everything on there. The Mummy, didn't see. Uh, a lot of the big films of the year I didn't actually see. Wonder Woman, didn't see. Ragnarok, didn't see. Kong, didn't see. Ooh, I am from the future because I forgot to mention. I saw a film called My Cousin Rachel, based on the Daphne du Maurier book. I saw that this year. It's alright. Directing was fine. Cinematography was nice. Editing was not good. Uh, very, a lot of very dark to very harshly, brightly lit intercut between, quite painful in the eyes. And the ending was like the opposite of a twist. It was a non-twist. I did actually. I filmed myself saying this already, but I lost it because I had to redo the film. That I had to redo like two of these bits, and some of these bits have gone lost in between. So just me saying, I also saw that film. Back to me from half an hour ago. But the film I enjoyed the most of all the films I saw this year, I know I said Death of Stalin. That's my favorite film of this year. My favorite 2017 film. My favorite film I saw this year. I went to the cinema on Christmas Eve, and I saw. And you've seen this on my wall. Because it's been there the last couple of videos I've done. Obviously, I've done these out of sequence, but there's no way of telling in this resolution what that is. It's the little poster, that mini version of the poster for North by Northwest. I think it's a British Film Institute. Yeah, British Film Institute did a sort of clean-up restoration, 4K resolution scan, like sympathetic restoration. It wasn't like stripping the grain away. And, bad restoration is something I do not like. It was beautiful. It was so nice, and it was such a great film. I loved it. I loved the old style effects. I loved seeing matte paintings. I love seeing frontaxial projection. I love the old-fashioned brilliantly directed, insane story, great film. The audience applauded at the end of it. I've never been to a film where the audience has applauded, and they had good reason to applaud because it was wonderful. Great film. Please, BFI, give us another Hitchcock. That would be great. I would love to go and see all of these at the cinema. Fantastic. That was the year in film. In politics, I'm doing jump cuts now because I had to edit. My camera stopped recording just while I was doing cinema, and I had to start it again. So I'm just trying to ease that transition by pointing it out. Politics. What's happened politically this year? Brexit was last year, but an election. Theresa May is still there, even though she didn't get majority. So there you go. A lot of horrible things happening across the world. It's very depressing. There's not much really I can add to it. That bad things are bad. But for me, I wish I hadn't started these jump cuts now. This is going to take me time in the editing process. For me, it has been quite a good year, actually. We've had, despite the fact we've had a doctor and a companion die, we've had let's talk about Doctor Who. Doctor Who was back this year. We had none last year. We had some this year. We had a full series. It's the best series for a while. It's better than 8 or 9. Probably better than 7 or 6. It's definitely one of Moffat's strongest series. Moffat burned himself out very quickly on Doctor Who. I had high hopes for him. I love all of his series 1 to 4 stuff. Series 5, loved it. Series 6 started fine, and then it got to the middle and it kind of fell to bits. I think, personally, this is what I used to say anyway, working on Sherlock and all of Doctor Who and all the other stupid things he's doing is too much for him to spreading this. He only has a limited amount of talent, and it's spread thinner. You get less quality in any given thing. Was it earlier this year or was it late last year that the new Sherlocks were? When one of those was good out of 3. I I mean, none of the previous three were particularly memorable. So yeah, he's kind of lost his spark quite quickly. We've had the occasional good story in there, but this series a bit flat in places, but I would say a definite marked improvement on the previous couple. I actually quite enjoyed it. I really like Bill as a companion. I was astounded to find out that I love Nardole as a companion. I was totally against them bringing him back until he came back, and I was like, well, what a great character. I love Nardole. Nardole! Oh, so yeah, then we had the Christmas special. And I remember saying on Christmas Day, that there's only so far wrong it can go. It had the first Doctor, had Peter Capaldi in his last outing. It had Jodie Whittaker in her first appearance. Despite that, and despite some really great things, it was really disappointing. It was a bit of a nothing story. It took the first Doctor, did almost nothing with him. We had like one really nice moment, and that's about it. Mark Gatiss' character was quite interesting, but they didn't do that much with him. Bill came back to do nothing. The story was basically, oh, time stopped. Why is it stopped? Because this guy's here. Why is this guy here? We put him here. Why did you do that? We're not telling you. Are you bad? No. I'm going to find out if you're bad. Are they bad? No. Okay, they're not bad. The end. That was it. That was the plot of... My one was better! I wouldn't have minded that. Any of these elements on their own would have been fine. But those, on top of the fact that for some reason Moffat decided to write the first Doctor as a sexist... Oh, why did he do that? Why? That was never... Just because he's a character from a show in the 1960s doesn't mean his character is from the 1960s. That was maddening. And really upsetting, really. Disrespecting the character. It was... Personally, Moffat's writing has been often quite sort of failed the mark on progressiveness quite frequently. I think that he did that to made the first Doctor really, really sexist to make himself look progressive by comparison, and that's cheating. So, yeah, I mean, it could have been great. It's fine. I'm still really excited for Jodie Whittaker. I'm all on board. So full speed ahead. Next year, like late next year, we're getting more Doctor Who, and I'm excited. I want a Nardole action figure before then. But yeah, so back to the year for me, because it has been a year for me. It's been a good year. I've had a nice year. I've thanked myself for watching and had a nice year. This year, I got to be in the show on holiday. That's like the highlight of my year. It was right at the start. I got to do street theatre again. That was lovely. I did my show, The Fabulous Spies, in the summer. I should have done a video linking to that, but I don't know if it's on Vimeo or not. I don't have my own copy of that one, so sorry. But I mean, there's the Fabulous Spies film version, so you can see that. It's on my channel. In February, I got to be the boom mic operator on a short film that I don't know if it was finished because I've never heard anything more about it. But that was fun. What else have I done? I think that might be it, actually. But those things were enough to make me, make it a good year. And I've done, this. I have acquired over the course of this year. I worked it out. I think either 29 or 30. I say I worked it out. I might be out. There's a margin of error. 29 to 30 Doctor Who DVDs. Off about 60 that I had left to get. I've pretty much got the collection now. I mean, I'm not going to be getting that many this coming year. I very much doubt that. But at that speed, if I continue that speed, I'd have them all by this time next year. So that's incredible. I mean, we're not judging my year in material wealth, but but I had a nice time. I got to be in the show in Halloween as well. That was so yeah. That sort of bookended the year. There were some sad times because on holiday a lot of the people that I really like left, and then some time passed, and then my favourite guy, Tim DeBro, also left, which was like, you know, you get a punch, and then you're like, okay, time has passed, I've gotten over that punch. Oops, nope, another punch. So that was a bit glum. But what can you do? It's sad, and you have to move on. Then for me, the main negative of this year, the worst thing that's really gone down in my own small world this year, my next door neighbour of the majority of my life very sadly passed away. It was something that I hadn't really given an event I hadn't really given much thought to happening before it happened. I mean, she was very old, but I don't know. She'd always been there. It's the idea of her not just being around was one I hadn't really contemplated, and it hit me a lot harder than I would have imagined that it would. Not right away, oddly. I don't tend to deal with emotions as and when they come. I tend to store them away to work out what to do with them later on. And yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not the person for whom it has been the worst. Obviously she has family, and it's much worse for them. But it was something that I didn't really deal with that well. It was very upsetting, and that's definitely the worst thing. I mean, this is the part of the video usually where I do the joke bit about Goomba being dead. Um, but when you have an actual death of someone close to you physically, literally lives on the other side of that wall. Uh, yeah, it's rough, and I mean, I'm sure many of you watching more of, I mean, I have what, like one regular viewer. You know what I'm talking about. It's someone, you know. It's good to keep people in our thoughts at this time of year that aren't with us anymore. It's a good time to remember, and it's a good time to be thoughtful, but not necessarily to be sad. I don't think being sad isn't a constructive emotion after you've passed a certain point. So yeah, that's an unexpectedly uncheery bit. I'm all wet at the moment. Um, Ironically enough, I have filmed this video itself out of sequence. This year's music, I don't know. I have no idea what songs were released this year and which were last year. I feel like there's a big song at some point, and not Despacito, like something else. Honestly, I can't for the life of me think what it is. Maybe it was Gangnam Style. Open Gangnam Style. No, that was 5 years ago. 5 years since Gangnam Style. What? Okay, well, I'm done. This is already longer than I wanted it to be. The year is rapidly approaching its end. It's now 20 past 8. This video, I'm not saying this video is 20 minutes. There'll be a gap from editing and from the bit where I had to clear some files from my computer to make space to finish filming it. So, yeah, in another 3 hours and 40 minutes, for me, it will be New Year. I don't know, like in an hour and a half for you probably. It depends on how long it takes me to upload this. The New Year, what will it bring? It'll bring some Doctor Who, which should be I'm excited for. Moffat's gone, by the way. I didn't say, I mean, you know that. Moffat is gone. That is the best thing that could happen. Everyone's like, oh, the people that are, you know, more negative than me, they seem to equate Jodie Whittaker being cast and some of the more on the nose attempts at being progressive, you know, making up for lost ground that Moffat did. They seem to equate those two things together. Moffat had nothing to do with Jodie Whittaker's casting. Moffat has nothing to do with the upcoming series, and everything to do with the series that's just been that. So I've heard people saying, "Oh, I hated Series 10. I barely tolerated it. I'm not even going to watch Series 11." It's a completely different production team. Well, I don't understand. I mean, fine, if you're not watching it. Okay, I am. I'm watching it. I'm looking forward to it. Um, but yeah, Doctor Who's going to be great. I might get to be in some more shows. Like, I wouldn't rule it out on holiday. I mean, unless I'm dead, have a job, or have moved, I will be doing street theatre in October. I should be doing a show with my integrated performance group, if not in June, then in September, in which I will be playing the manager of a hotel. So that's gonna be nice. And yeah, I'm just gonna call it 2018. It's gonna be fine. It might be fine. I hope it's gonna be fine. I'm not calling it. I'm not calling it. I don't want that sort of pressure. So while we end the year with the traditional New Year's song that we all love, while we do that, just mull over what your year has been like and leave a comment telling me what your year's. No one leaves comments on my video. No one leaves comments on my videos. What am I talking about? You can leave if you want to leave a comment on my video, tell me how your year's been. Do that. Great. You're not going to. No one ever does that. No one even watches these. What am I talking about? Okay, well, I've spoken for long enough, as I've said. I hope you have a nice year. Even more than that, I hope I have a nice year. Sorry, I'm self-centered, I know. But here's the thing. This is my lasting message I want to give you for the year. I filmed these videos out of sequence. Thank you for watching, and have a nice year. Should all our Goombas be forgot and never brought to mind? Well, now it's New Year, Dappy Jones, and I'm singing Auld Lang Syne. Christmas week, New Year week. There's only 2 more of these to go. And then I'm like going on break, I think. I'm only like, I'm just here so I can do the traffic on the hour bit. I need to space these title cards out. There's absolutely nothing to put in this bit. I'll say bye in a really dismissive way. Bye.
Traffic on the hour. Traffic on the hour. Traffic on the hour. Traffic on the hour.